Camelback Ranch Park. This is where the Dodgers and the White Sox play. I like this stadium a lot. It's cool. It's older. It's an older park, and you can tell just by looking at this picture. It has the feeling of they just took the lower bowl of Dodger Stadium and put it in Glendale. That's what it feels like. It's pretty cool though. It's a cool park. They have a lower section you can see in the picture there. They have a lower section that's a little bit closer, and then they have the kind of like an upper section behind that. And one thing that's funny is that those lower sections, it's like section 4, and then the section behind it is section 107. And so we got there, and somebody was sitting in our seats, and I was kind of like, okay, not sure how to navigate this because I don't know why they would be sitting in our seats. I guess you could just say, hey, you're in our seats, and they would move. But anyway, so they were supposed to be in section 4. They had better seats to go down below. But anyway, it was a whole thing. So keep an eye on that if you go. Know your section. Understand that the nicer seats are not 100 and whatever. They're under 100. This was, granted, we went on a Friday night to watch the Dodgers play the Reds. Okay? Like, you're not going to get a more premium ticket in the Cactus League than watching Shohei Ohtani play Ellie De La Cruz, right? So we paid pretty little penny for these tickets, and we were fine with it. We were okay with it. This game ended up getting rained out, so we ended up leaving. Parking at this place, they have a really big parking lot because there's really nowhere else to park in the area. It's kind of the stadium is like right next to a neighborhood. And so there's not really anywhere else to park. But the parking lot is huge. You will be in the parking lot, but you might have to walk a ways to get to the door. Do not try to go to don't try to go to the left field entrance. Yeah, the left or the third base end. Don't try to go to the third base entrance because we got turned away. That's their season ticket holder entrance right there on third base. You want to go around to the home plate entrance on that side. Customer experience at this ballpark, I thought it was good. I mean, it's another one of those stadiums where the concourse is open and there's not much covering. It's anywhere you go, you can see the field, which is cool, which I like a lot at a lot of these stadiums. Not all of them have this. We'll get there in a little bit, but this one definitely does have it, and it's really cool. Team store, they have several. They have several team stores. They have one behind home plate that has both Dodgers and White Sox stuff. Right? Yeah. And then there's a bigger one out in center field that has primarily Dodgers. I'd say it's probably 75% Dodgers, 20% White Sox, and like 5% Cactus League stuff, but it's a much bigger team store, and you can actually get there from the spring training facilities. Because that's when we went there. We were out there seeing the Dodgers and the White Sox there's at their backfields, and we ended up going into their team store from there. So pretty good selection with team store stuff. You're mostly going to find Dodger stuff. Sorry, White Sox fans. Fan experience, it's great. You always feel close to the field, despite the fact that instead of going up, it goes back. You feel close to the field. It's a very intimate feeling stadium. I went to this the first time I went here was during the Arizona Fall League. If you go to the Arizona Fall League, it's general admission. You can sit wherever you want. We sat behind the dugout for a lot of the game. Then we got hot, went up and sat in the shade for a while. We weren't hot anymore, so we found another spot. Just bounced around, sat wherever we wanted. And I felt like all those places we sat, we did not have a bad seat in this park. So it's really good. It's a great place to go. Food, get yourself a Dodger dog. People talk about how it's a mediocre hot dog, but it's an experience you probably want to get. So you can get yourself a Dodger dog at a Dodger spring training game at Camelback Ranch Park. Seating, good. Like I said, it's pretty cool to have that sprawling seating. You never feel like you're super high up, but you can always see the field from wherever you're at. There's some shade. There are some seats that go back into the concourse, a little bit into the concourse, into the covered areas, but you're at the very top of the section. So if you're fine sitting at the very top of the section, that's great. Shade is going to be down the first base line because the stadium faces southeast, and so the sun's going to go behind the first base side of the stadium. But overall ballpark feel, it's great. It has a feel of an old time, of an old ballpark, but not the old timey one. Like I said, with Surprise, it just feels like an old ballpark. Cool experience. I like this one a lot. Getting out of the parking lot was mostly fine. We left, like I said, we got rained out. We left as the rain started. Lightning hit just outside of left field. We're like, okay, maybe it's time to go. They called the game before we got out of the parking lot. So we had a long walk to go because we were ways in that parking lot. And then by the time we got out of the parking lot, we got notifications that the game was called. So there's that. But cool stadium. I'd recommend going to Camelback Ranch Park.